From melting glaciers to disappearing snow cover, shrinking sea ice, and rising sea level, scientists say it's all evidence of a rapidly warming planet. In the most comprehensive draft of a U.S. government report on climate change, scientists conclude record-breaking climate-related weather extremes are undoubtedly linked to climate change. Humans are responsible, and if no action is taken, the impact will be deadly. Katherine Hayhoe, a climate scientist at Texas Tech University, is one of the lead authors of the report.
It's like now we've gone to the doctor, and the doctor has done an X-ray of our lungs and sees some worrying spots on our lungs and calls us in and says, some of this damage is irreversible, but the worst consequences can be avoided if we act now. That's what this report is.
The draft report, reviewed by 13 government agencies, is mandated by Congress every 4 years. It says 15 of the last 16 years are the warmest years on record. Human activities, especially emissions of greenhouse gases, are primarily responsible for the observed climate changes over the last 15 decades. Intensity of heavy precipitation and extreme heat events are increasing and will very likely continue. The report awaits comments and final approval from an administration led by a president who's repeatedly questioned the science behind climate change.
We got a blizzard outside. There's no warming.
What does the president actually believe about climate change?
Yeah, I have not had an opportunity to have that discussion.
Regarding the question as to climate change, I think the president was fairly straightforward. We're not spending money on that anymore.
Scientists' fears about what the administration will do are rooted in Trump's track record. He's tweeted climate change is a Chinese hoax, although he later denied that on the campaign trail.
Donald thinks that climate change is a hoax perpetrated by the Chinese. I think it's real.
I did not.
Science is real.
I do not say that.
And newly released emails show managers at the Agriculture Department directed employees to avoid the phrase climate change and instead use weather extremes. And rather than reducing greenhouse gases, the emails suggest the term increased nutrient use efficiency. The agency says employees overstep their bounds, and it isn't changing the approach to science, just how they talk about it. Some scientists see a dangerous pattern and are warning the Trump administration not to suppress their work.
The federal government is required to release these reports at regular intervals. That means that if the report and the national assessment were not released, it would be possible for organizations to officially sue the federal government to release these documents and this information.
But UN Ambassador Nikki Haley today seemed to go further than others in the administration, suggesting the climate report would not be suppressed, telling NBC she didn't see any reason why the administration would not embrace their findings.
We're not saying that climate change is not real. It is real.